Hey guys, it's Roscoe, and on the Space Couch today I'm going to be reviewing this, In the Labyrinth of Drakes by Marie Brennan. This is the fourth in the Lady Trent memoirs, after Natural History of Dragons, Tropic of Serpents and Voyage of the Basilisk. So this one is basically set in that fantastic alternate worlds version of Arabia. The Skirland army is trying to figure out how to preserve dragon bones, because when dragons die, their bones just dissolve almost straight away. Because they can be used as the bracing supports for their airships, or Kaligers as they call them in this. And one of the major powers in that world, the Yelengese, I think it is essentially China or Japan, have already figured out how to do it. So the race is on. So Lady Trent, Mrs. Camhurst, and her friend and her brother, they go out, part of this expedition, to this country to breed dragons, learn from them, and hopefully figure out how to preserve the bones. So very interesting. Who she meets out there is Sahel, who was in the previous book, Voyage of the Basilisk. He was one of the ones she had adventures with and was riding the sea serpents with. He was called back at the end of that book because of the death of his father. Turns out that meant that his elder brother became the Caliph. So he is now the brother of the Caliph. And his brother doesn't really hold all this nonsense about going out and exploring for dragons and all that sort of thing. So anyway, that's the background to it. There's the usual sort of thing, as you would expect with Lady Trent, you know. She gets on the nerves of the rulers quite easily. She also gets her way, of course. What else? She gets kidnapped, escapes, recaptured, and then rescued. Like I said, just another day for Lady Trent. It's all really good fun, you know. Really like the style of these, this journal style, as it were. So anyway, other than that, they go off exploring into the deep desert, you know, to try and find the Labyrinth of Drakes, to try and find out more about the breeding patterns, mating habits, all that sort of thing of the dragons. And in the Labyrinth of Drakes, they stumble across some ancient ruins of the Draconian Empire. You know, the ones who ruled thousands of years ago and apparently had tamed dragons, which no one has managed to do since in that world. You know, so that's all very interesting. It's they come across this giant valley with all these fantastic statues called the Watchers of Time. You know, and they make their way through adventures and all that sort of thing to uncover some secrets of the Draconian Empire. It turns out that they were breeding dragons, so they must have been able to tame them. Indeed. As well as that, they stumble across what's called the Cataract Stone. It's essentially their version of the Rosetta Stone. There is, whatever their version of ancient Greek is called, I can't remember, as well as ancient Draconian. And obviously, like with the Rosetta Stone, you have one language, you can unlock the other. It's a huge discovery, a massive step forward for scientific progress. And there will indeed be ramifications for that going forward, I expect. The book does end wide open, of course, with them planning another journey. Yes, indeed, I can't wait for that. I didn't even know this one was coming out. As soon as I saw it, I had to pick it up. As with the others, there's some fantastic illustrations, because, as I said, it takes that journal format where all those naturalists and botanists and explorers back in our 19th century, they all drew everything they saw, all that sort of thing, made copious notes. It's very much in that style. So that's the map of where they're going. I know it's basically Arabia, but it's kind of about this. It's almost like France, the way that it is drawn there. It's that kind of shape to it. This is when they're coming to the main port, when they get to that country, flanked by giant dragon beings. It's a fantastic image. Absolutely love that. Let's see, there's several others. I'll just find the next one. Yeah. One of the dragons that she's breeding, this is a young dragon, obviously, lumpy, because of the nature of his scales. There's one there, I think. Yes, two of the smaller dragons, I forget what they're called. They're not sparklings, it's something like honeysuckers, I think these are called. And they use these ones, they import them, her pets, actually, Mrs. Cameron's pets from Skirland, over there and start breeding them on eucalyptus leaves. It's fantastic, I absolutely loved it. You know, and they're trying to find out how to breed dragons by starting with the very smallest ones. So let's see. Yeah, the night hunt that they go on. Yeah, the reason that that leopard, oh, so it's a hyena, is on fire is because there's a dragon. Just in case you couldn't make out the picture. Let's see. Yes, a mating flight. There you go. I remember in one of the Terry Pratchett books, the one where the dragon becomes king of Ankh-Morpork, there was a mating flight at the end of that one. What was it? The people united can never be ignited. Yes, this is a scene from the village. Fantastic drawings. I wish I could draw. As you know, I can't draw at all. And there is Suhail, who becomes her husband. That will, of course, be scandalous. You know, Lady Trent, what do you expect, though? But at least he is the brother of a caliph, you know. He's pretty high up in society. And, you know, title always makes up for anything else. Not money, but title. Let's see, I know there's that. There is the cataract stone, and it's, as you can see, very similar to our own Rosetta Stone. The way that she's written this world is just fantastic. It's so believable, you know. I mean, you can figure out the country she's talking about, you know, because the names kind of give it away. But sometimes you do get a bit lost. There they are, the Watchers of Time. I guess like our Valley of Kings, I suppose, although rather more impressive, because all the good stuff is buried. But anything else? I think there's one more. Yes. The hatching chamber, where she makes some discoveries of the ancient draconians. Absolutely fantastic. I think that's the last one. Yes, so that is number 4 in the Lady Trent memoirs, and it's an absolutely cracking read. I thoroughly recommend them all to you if you haven't checked them out already. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment or suggestion for an upcoming topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.